sure everything's okay. Oh, almost forgot the thing. All right, now let's see if the audio is better. I hope you heard. Hold on. Okay, now let's see if the audio is good. Okay, there we go. Not sure why I didn't do it the first time. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the New Orleans Saints rebuild, getting ready for Part 4, 2026 season. It's your boy, Malin. So here we go. I'm in a better mood today. Hey, it's my, day off, no calls from work, so I'm in a better mood today, and I'm also in a really good mood for this New Orleans Saints rebuild because in the last episode, if you guys missed, we got ourselves a new quarterback. I know. Brock Purdy is our new quarterback. 91 overall, superstar franchise quarterback, and he also fits the scheme that Dennis Allen has. So I think that gives me good reason to keep Dennis Allen's coaching staff on for one more year. Caleb Williams, I'm not going to downplay him as a worse back as a low tier backup. He's our second string quarterback in case we have any crazy injury with Brock Purdy. I feel good with Caleb Williams as a backup quarterback going into this season. We do have another guy named J.J. Hall who we drafted later out of Illinois. Halfbacks are the same. We got Kamara, but we signed Zamir White to fill in with Jamal Williams leaving in free agency, and we still have Kendre Miller. Our fullback is still Morgan Howard, who's actually coming off of a season where for Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC, he actually was number 10. A little bit surprised about that, but when your back goes for 1,100 yards and you play your rookie season, I guess that means that, hey, if you draft a fullback, you're doing something right sometimes. All right, receiving core, a lot of the same. We still have Chris Olave, who we brought back on a pretty massive deal. We still have Johnny Wilson. We have Perry. We have Green. We got Truman, who we drafted out of TCU. He's not a real player, but we drafted him this year. We have Laurie, Upshaw, and Washington. And I went ahead and actually signed some free agents before the preseason began. I just wanted to see who was out there and if anybody out there was an upgrade from what we already have. And the good thing is with all of these guys, we can get them on the cheap. So it's easy to get, decent players for starting bridge roles to help out with that. So we signed Jonnu Smith, 9-year veteran. I know he's been with the Patriots and other teams before. He's a 73 overall tight end. He's not that big of an upgrade over Colby Parkinson, but I feel like that since Jonnu was available, I feel like it was worth it because we only had one other tight end, and that was Nick Middleton, who we drafted out of Ohio State this year. Left tackle Will Campbell is going to go into his second season. We're going to have James Blythe, a rookie we drafted out of SMU, to back him up. Left guard, we have Isaac Suomalo, the former Eagle and Panther, I believe. 81 overall, one of our big free agent signings, and probably our second biggest free agency signing this offseason behind Purdy. He's been in the league for 10 years, though. I don't know how much longer he'll play. And we have John Downey, who's going to back him up as well. Center, we still have McCoy. We have 85, Tevin Jenkins. We have Ramchak, 91 overall. So offensive line, and this is the best our offensive line has looked throughout the whole rebuild. 83, 81, 87, 85, and 91. Our offensive line, that's got to be like a top 10 offensive line in terms of ratings in the NFL. Now on the defensive side of the ball, where we're slowly getting better, but we still have some work to do. Darius Smith, I'm going to go ahead and let start the whole season. He didn't play a whole lot, I think, last year as a rookie. He actually is a real player out of Georgia, so he's going to play 76 overall. We did sign Tyquan Lewis to back him up, and we also drafted Max Buchanan, just in case maybe Smith doesn't really work out, and we need to think of some other plans. Granderson, 82 overall, and we have Jordan Riley, and we have Nelson Cesar to back him up as well. Defensive tackle is pretty much the same. We have Brees, we still have we signed Saunders. And we got Vosek, and we got Quan McAllister, who we drafted out of Oklahoma this season. And also our first-round pick this season in the draft, Max Murphy, Mad Max, left outside linebacker out of USC. We definitely need to upgrade our linebacking positions. 77 is way better than what we had with Jennings at a 72. And Jennings is still coming off of that major injury that he had last season. So getting Murphy was definitely an insurance to make sure that he was good there, because unfortunately I haven't been happy with Tyrone Hopper the first few years that he's been in the league. He really hasn't gotten into the 70s. I know that's probably from lack of playing time, but Murray is a better option than him. And another big free agent signing we got was Cole Holcomb, 83 overall middle linebacker. Earl Landry's going to back him up. And we brought back Shaq Barrett. 73 overall, and we have Grant Stewart to back him up. Now, Barrett, I think, will only play maybe one more season, maybe two max. So I kind of wonder, how much longer he'll play. But our linebacking core is decently strong, but it's not very, very super good. Corners. Now, here I made some moves. Marshawn Lattimore, I did sign Dante Jackson this offseason out of 8-year pro out of LSU, 81 overall corner. I brought back Benjamin, and I also went ahead and signed Adoree Jackson. He was available in free agency. He's a 79 overall, 9 years in the league. He fits our scheme. Figured it'd be a good idea to bring him in. I know that Denver Harris was starting to get a little bit better, and we have a 72 Marcus Dial, but I feel like our cornerback depth room is the best that it's been throughout the whole rebuild. And, of course, Lattimore, 95 overall corner, best player on the team. We still have the Honey Badger, but I don't know for how much longer. 84. We still have Johnny Melton, and we got Greg Brooks. But Melton really hasn't gotten playing time because, then again, we're investing in Tyrann Mathieu. And we did sign Donovan Wilson to replace Marcus May, who retired this offseason after only 9 seasons. That was a retirement I did not expect to have happen. But we signed former Cowboy Donovan Wilson, and we have Jordan Howden backing him up, and Malik Mustafa is our third safety. We did have to get a new kicker and punter. We got Fairbairn, the former Texan, 81 overall, and Tommy Townsend, 81 overall. So our kicker and our punter are better than what we've had the first 3 years of the rebuild. So hopefully our kicking game and our punting game is going to be better this year. And unfortunately, it looks like my battery. I tried to let it charge before I started the live stream, but hopefully it lasts for this live stream, which I don't think will be super duper long. But that man right there is what I'm hitching my wagon up to and hoping that this guy is going to lead us to the playoffs in his first year as a starter for this team. Because when I saw Brock Purdy available as a free agent, we don't have to trade for a top flight key position player. You go out and you offer him a lot. And believe me, it cost a lot of money to go get that guy. But we were in a bidding war with the Steelers for his services, but I said, you know what, I'm going for it. And I know we're still 80s across the board, but getting Brock Purdy in here, I think will take the offense to another level. And we still have Kamara, we got Olave, so those are 2 good skill position guys. I wanted to go out and get another really good receiver in the 80s, but I'm okay with having Johnny Wilson as the second receiver for another season. He's progressed slowly over the first 2 years that he's been in the league, so hopefully this year is another year where he can just kind of take off a little bit and continue to get better. Okay, and we actually won our first preseason game against the Texans. We're playing the Browns this week, and hopefully Purdy's playing well and getting used to his surroundings in New Orleans, ready to be the franchise quarterback for this team. We haven't made the playoffs in the first 3 years of this rebuild as we lose our second preseason game to the Browns. So I'm really hoping this year is the year that we break through. I really need this to be, if not a playoff season, like we're right there on the verge. Like we're 1-2 wins away. We get some better defensive players. We get maybe another receiver. And next thing you know, in 2027 may be the year that we finally take off, even though it's going to be the 5th year of the rebuild, which by year 5, typically, rebuilds are supposed to be completed in my eyes. But hey, if I got to keep going with this like Seattle, but unlike Seattle, the rebuild, I think this team is in better shape, but I'm hoping I'm not wrong. Cut day, we got to cut 10 players, obviously, so we got to take care of that. As far as quarterbacks, can we actually cut Haener? No, it'll do a penalty. Okay, well, I'm going to put Hall on the practice squad. Halfbacks. We have only 3 of them, so I can't really do anything here. Wide receivers. We got a bunch of receivers that are just like hanging around here. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so Washington, we're going to cut you. And you know what? Upshaw, we're going to go ahead and cut you as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 receivers. I'm good with going with 6 receivers for this season. And I kind of want to keep Middleton active just in case. Offensive line, we don't have a whole lot of depth here, so I'm probably going to be looking to keep all those guys active. I don't want to put Max Buchanan on the practice squad because I worry about that. But Nelson Cesar, I'm going to go ahead and move him to practice squad. And defensive tackles, I'm going to go ahead and cut Vosluk. And because I want to keep McAllister active. Hopper, linebacking core, we don't have a whole lot of depth there either. Leslie Polk, I'm just going to go ahead and straight up cut. We got a bunch of corners that really aren't developing at all. Harden, we're going to cut you as well. And Kirkwood, we're going to cut you as well. Get some money saved on the docket. All right, we got to do 2 more cuts. We have some extra free safety. So Greg Brooks really hasn't done too much. So we're going to go ahead and cut him in all the years that he's been here. And Malik Mustafa, we're going to cut you as well. And that's that. Cut days are all done. All right, so let's go ahead and advance. We did lose our last preseason game, so we went 1-2 in the preseason. Hopefully that's not a sign that we're not going to be still as good as I think we are, but hopefully. Even getting a 91 overall quarterback only still has our offense rated about an 80. So who knows if Brock Purdy is going to be the major difference or if I'm just chasing a ghost. I don't know. I'm hoping not, but hopefully Purdy's the answer for this team. All right, let's choose draft class. I think there is a 2027 file, but I think all these kids are like freshmen, so... there we go. 2027 draft freshman. Raiola. All right. I'm going to go with this draft class. All right. We already have 2 players to negotiate, but those are free agents that we've signed, so I'm not going to worry about that until later in the season. Playing the Browns to open up the season. They're not too much better than us. This is a pretty even matchup. So let's go ahead and sail to the middle of the season, though, and let's see where we're at. Hopefully we're not like 2-6 or 2-5. Really hoping for a better year this year. Hopefully playoffs. But you know what? Even if we don't make the playoffs this season, if we finish the season like 8-9 or 9-8 or something like that, and we don't make the postseason, I'll take that as a forward progression. What I don't want to do is go backwards from 7-10 with a 91 overall quarterback. I'm not saying that Purdy is the answer to all the problems on defense and everything else that we have that has been working against us the last few seasons, but we've gotten some better defensive players to help out as well, especially at linebacker, and we got Donovan Wilson to replace May, who's probably actually a better strong safety. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So hopefully this season is a season where we start to see some turnaround. I mean, this is year 4. By year 4, we got to see some progression in the right direction here, in my opinion, in order to get the Saints back into the postseason. Because the first 2 years of Caleb Williams didn't net anything except decent wins to end the regular season. Although the regular season finale we had last year against Atlanta was pretty crazy. That was a crazy last-minute touchdown drive that Williams was able to do for us. That was pretty big. Please don't let it be bad. Please don't let it be bad. We're gonna be... We're still a 2-5 team. Wow. County National Focus. Let's go and take care of that. Even with the 91 overall Brock Purdy, we're 2-5. Wow. I don't know if it's the coaching at this point. It may be. I don't know. Well, let's take a look at what players are ready to negotiate, because we got to take a look at these guys. We got $117 million to spend. I may bring back Adoree, but you know what? We have a bunch of, this guy, yes. Lattimore, player-friendly deal where you take this. We'll go up at later if it doesn't work. Okay, good. He likes the player-friendly deal. Awesome. Okay, we got Lattimore, our best player on the team, inked into a long-term deal. And you know what, Ramchek? I want to keep you around, sir. All right, the neutral deal. He took it. Awesome. $85 million to work with still. Not bad. Honey Badger, I think it's time to let you go. Well, I think we're just going to have to let you go. You're just getting too expensive. But Donovan Wilson, I think, is still worth investing in for a couple more years. He's good with the neutral deal. Awesome. But Matthew is getting up there in age, and he may retire, so I'm thinking about just letting him hit the books. Dante Jackson, we really got him on the cheap, so maybe 1 year. All right, he'll take the 1 year deal to stay around 1 more year. Good for him. Good on him. I may come back to Fairbairn later, but I don't know if I want to drop the money on that right now. Breesy is really not interested in coming back, and at 80 overall, he's been a guy who has been decent, but he's not anything too spectacular, and maybe we can get an upgrade this offseason. Kendre Miller's, Zamir White, we can probably get another back. You know what? Since we're going to let Miller walk, let's see if we can get White back in here for maybe 2 more years to give us some running back depth behind Kamara. Perry, I'm okay with letting go. Howden's a backup. Parkinson's a backup right now. We really need to upgrade our tight end room. Saunders was backing up Brees, but you know what? If we're going to let Brees walk, then we'll get him. We can't negotiate with any of these guys yet, but I think some of these guys towards the end we're going to bring back for depth reasons. I'm going to bring back Saunders if we're going to let Brees walk. I think that might be the best idea that we can go with. Media question. Marshawn Lattimore is going to be part of this team one way or another, and he is. We signed him to a new contract, so Lattimore will be here for more years in his career, which is good for us. Well, unfortunately, we are 2-5 still with the 91 overall Brock Purdy at quarterback. We got better defensively. We still have a pretty good offense, but we're 2-5. But then again, another thing I kept saying, we also play in a pretty tough division in the NFC South. But we get a win against the Packers by 3. So we are now 3-5, but we're still at the bottom of our division. Let's see what the media question is this week. If not, there's going to be changes, big time. Because I think they're better. Because I think this team is better on paper than what our record says it is. But that's just me from what I've seen. Let's upgrade some players, and we got to play the Bucs on the road this week. And this could be potentially, if we can win this one, might give us some confidence going forward. But I don't know. And we lost by 18. So now we're starting to slip up. We're starting to slip into, may not be in main playoffs once again. Just may not be in the cards. It just may be that way. 4 years, no playoffs would be just abysmal. But maybe we can get a win against the Falcons this week. But I won't hold my breath. Nope. Lose by 7. Once again, even with a new quarterback, 91 Brock Purdy, we're still losing games by, close margins. Playing the Panthers this week. We're 3-7. Let's get back to negotiations here. $74 million still to work with. Oh, we can't do anything until 13 with him. I think everybody else we're going to let walk. Maybe we'll get a win against Carolina this week, but I doubt it. Don't. I think we're worse than last year. with a roster that I feel like was improved, and that's saying something. I don't know if it's the coaching or what, but we got to make some changes this offseason big time. I think this is Dennis Allen's last year. We're just going to have to get a new coach. I think it's time to get a new coach. That may be what we have to do in year 5. All right. 6-4 Seahawks this week. Can we get a win going into the bye? If we don't, then we're guaranteed to have another losing record with no playoffs. And we're not making the postseason this year again. This is starting to get frustrating, just as much as it was with Seattle. Just can't win. Just can't get any wins. You know, we're just struggling. We got 19 skill points to spend. Can we do anything else with Dennis Allen, even though it's probably going to be his last year? Maybe OC, offensive coordinator. Nope, can't spend anything there. What about defensive coordinator? No? Alright, player personnel is probably just what we're going to have to do. 16 points there. We're just going to do that with draft day every day. Going to upgrade there. So offensive scheme, multiple power run, base 4-3. Multiple power run, defensive scheme, base 4-3. Okay. I'm thinking what I also have to do is hire better coaches, but also have similar schemes, so that way we don't have to like completely reconstruct the team. But that may not be the best approach to go with, but we'll see. All right, well, we're in the bye week and we're 3-9 right now. We spent all that money on Brock Purdy, and we've only won 3 games by this point. So, needless to say, I'm pretty disappointed with the way that this season has gone. Very disappointed. All right. So we can do some negotiations that I'm actually interested in doing. Let's go back and see who we can still negotiate deals with, who I even want to bring back. Saunders, I want to keep you around for 1 year. Offer's perfect. Okay, great. Easy. Lewis, I'm going to let walk. And everybody else is going to walk. Could bring back Dory Jackson, but I don't think that would be worth it. I just signed him to get some corner help, and it looks like it didn't help. You know, we're 81, 80 and 80, and we're 3-9. That's not good. That's not good return investment for what we paid in all these players that we brought in. It's ridiculous. And we lost again. We've lost like 7, 8 games in a row. Just can't get anything. Can't get anything going. I think the defensive line needs a major overhaul as well. I think that's really what we've got to work on this offseason. And it may be time to make some trades. Really time to make some trades and get this team better. And once again, we're playing the vaunted Panthers this week, who we just can't seem to beat. We can't really seem to beat anybody consistently in our division right now. Except the Falcons, but only when I'm playing as the team and when it's the last game of the regular season. Well, how about this? We get an upset win over the Panthers. But we're still in the basement of the NFC South, like we always are. So, just no chance to get any better. We play the Ravens on the road to finish out the season, which will be a pretty tough game, but regardless, still playing it. 6-8 Bengals this week. A little bit surprised they're doing that bad based on their ratings, but maybe we can pull off an upset win as we get close to the end of the season, get some momentum next year, but I doubt it. Yep, And it looks like we had a bunch of practice squad players get signed. So Terrell Garvin got signed. Matthew Jones got signed. Cesar got signed by the Texans. Commanders signed Hall, the quarterback. And Dom Childress got signed as well. And unfortunately, we have 2 new injuries going in the last 2 regular season games. Darius Smith, torn pec, out for the rest of the year for sure. We're putting you on IR. We're putting all these guys probably on IR. All right, and Will Campbell, you're going to be on IR for the rest of the year because we're not making the playoffs. Going to put you on IR. And Lewis, you're only out for 1 week, so you're going to probably be able to play next week. So let me see if I can go get a left tackle and a left end to play the last 2 regular season games just to kind of fill the gaps a little bit, but I don't know. I will say, even with Brock Purdy, we are worse than last year. Like, we're way worse. We're 4-11. Like, we're going to finish pretty worse than what we did last year. Because Blind, the rookie, I don't want to put him out there by himself, so I'm going to bring in Rasheed Walker to play the last 2 regular season games. He fits our scheme, so we're going to bring him in because I don't want to put that Blythe kid out there and just have him get demolished last 2 games. At defensive end, we're going to bring in Florenzo Fatosky. Scheme fit guy, 72 overall. Get him in here, help out on the defensive line for the rest of the season. And hopefully we'll be able to maybe get at least one of these wins to end the year. We're definitely going to be playing the last game of the regular season. Hopefully I can win that game. Get some confidence. So let me see now how things are looking with those new signings that we have going into the last 2 regular season games. Okay. So Walker's going to start the rest of the year, 79 overall. That's better than what we had with Blythe, who's a 64. I don't want to put that rookie out there when he's a low-round pick and he's got to go play. Smith out for the rest of the year. Fatosky, 73. Better than putting out Lewis, even though Lewis is capable, but he's also hurt. That's the thing. Lewis is also hurt, so I had to bring in a new defensive end. And that means that Buchanan is going to have to go into a game for the first time as the primary backup for a game. This game that we have coming up against the Raiders. They're 10-5. We're 4-11. They're better than us on paper in pretty much every facet, so I don't expect to win this game. And we lost by 6. And we have another new injury. So the Rams signed Luke Nash from our practice squad, and we also had David Ugua get signed from our practice squad. And we have another new injury to end the season. So not only are we losing again, but we're also and we have Marshawn Lattimore out with a torn labrum. Wow. Well, we're going to put him on IR for the rest of the year, even though it's only 1 game. But unfortunately, the last game we played this season, Marshawn Lattimore is not going to be able to play. So we're down our starting left tackle, our starting corner, some of the best players on our team. We're also down our starting defensive end, left defensive end. So we're going to go into a game. But you know what? We still have Dory Jackson, and we still have Dante Jackson as well. We have the Jacksons. So we're going to be, and we still have Darius Benjamin St. Just, okay? So our cornerbacks I'm not really concerned about going into this final game against the Ravens. Speaking of the Ravens, I want to take a look at the playoff picture, and I want to see what things are looking like as we go into it. So the Ravens are actually not in the playoff picture. So if we beat them, I don't think we're going to be able to play spoiler. Once again, the Falcons and the Panthers will both make the postseason. Cowboys have the #1 seed. It's Falcons, Eagles, Rams, Panthers, Lions, Seahawks. NFC, AFC, Steelers, Broncos, Jets, Browns, Colts, Raiders, Chiefs have the #1 seed. So that's the way the 2026 playoffs are looking. All right. So let me take a look actually at our depth chart going into the final game because I want to go ahead and take a look at things and make sure that we have the best personnel out there ready to go. Going to have Rasheed start. Defensive end wise, I think Lewis is back this week. Is he? Yes, Lewis is back. He'll be in the rotation to back up Fatosky. Max is going to be backing up all those guys. corners. So our starting corner going into this game is going to be Dante Jackson, 80 overall. But we still have Benjamin. We got Adoree. And we're also going to have Denver Harris. So I think our cornerbacks are going to be okay for this game, even though we have our best player on our team, Marshawn Lattimore, out for the rest of the game, out for the rest of the season, basically. Let's see if we can get our 5th win of the year against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm excited to get a chance to play with Brock Purdy, but for him coming in as the guy that I hope to be the answer for us, to only lead us to 5 wins, is a little bit discouraging. And I'm going to see what the stats are looking like at the end of the season. Like, is our offense better or is it worse with Purdy? You know, because I got to make that call. Because based on what happened this year, we went backwards. And at this point, at year 4 in the rebuild of no playoffs for the first 4 years, I really can't afford for next year to not be a playoff season. And I hate to do this like I did with the San Antonio Express franchise. But next season, if I have to force wins, I will. Just to make the postseason. If we start out like 2-5, I'm going to start forcing wins. Because it's pretty ridiculous that we cannot be better than 2-5 to start off an NFL season. And we're going to go into a 5th year next year. We got a bunch of money that we've invested in a lot of guys that, I don't know, maybe I should have invested money in guys like Kamara for long term. But you don't just find 80 overall players growing on trees in free agency every year. You can't bank on that. So you have to take gambles. So anyway, playing the Ravens this week. Let's get back to football. Let's just go out and play. Chris Olave can't hold on to the ball, but then again, that was a pretty tight fit ball.
Chris Olave, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
All right, Purdy, this is where we need you to show us something. At least show me something that I was right to give you the big contract and try to come in and be our new quarterback. All right, well, Olave makes the catch that time. Now it's 3rd down and 1. Let's run this ball with Kamara. Get the first. Come on, Alvin.
And if you want to get to the playoffs,
here we go. Ooh, great block. Ooh, oh, I thought he was going to be able to break that tackle. Still, Kamara, good run, man. See, I mean, he's an 80 overall. He's in the 80s in terms of a running back. I would think that that is a decent running back to have. This is supposed to be a longer rebuild than I expected, I guess. Green makes the catch. But there's a flag. I don't know if it's on us or if it's on them. McCoy, come on, man. You get a big play and you wipe it out with a holding penalty. Come on, dude. Seriously. This is why we're 4-11. 4-12. No, that was almost intercepted off the tip.
He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Love it a lot.
Now Purdy.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to take off and run with Purdy. I wanted Purdy to get out of bounds to avoid that hit, but I couldn't.
Nice gain. Gets him
still get 8 yards.
Down.
Makes this 3rd and a bit more manageable,
a little bit behind
not
the line.
too much.
12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right.
Yeah, Purdy didn't have enough to
And
get there. I should have just probably thrown the ball away.
Well short of the line to gain. 5 yards that time out of the screen.
You know what? If this is it for us, we're going to go for it. Rolling the dice. 1st drive. Let's go.
They'll go for it. Here's Purdy.
And the halfback angle route works. We got it.
This is close. They needed 7 yards.
Got it. 1st down. Nice job. Nice throw by Purdy and a better catch by Kamara.
Signals it is a 1st down.
Just might have been the big play that we needed. There we go. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, going up for the catch. Let's go. Nice job, Jonnu. Let's go. Making big plays here. Big play Purdy. I like that.
Here's Purdy.
Olave. Chris Olave on the slant route, touchdown Saints. Brock Purdy's 1st TD of the game. That was a gutsy call going up for on 4th down, but I said, hey, it's our last game of the regular season. Let's go all in. Go all out. All right, 1st down. Here comes the Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
On 1st down, they'll go.
Get him down. There we go.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Ooh, big hit by the big fella.
The second down play.
Reese, let's go. Nice hit, buddy.
One there. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Now it's Jackson. Able to find the
Zay Flowers gets down to the 1.
Ravens are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Guts here. That's the end of the first quarter, and we're up 7-0 on the Ravens. They're a very lengthy touchdown drive, so not in bad shape.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try to run this one in.
Even with
get in.
They got in, but we had the big hit, but it still didn't matter. All right, 3rd down and 5.
Coming up here, this defense looking for a 3rd down stop in the second quarter. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Flushed out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Okay, well, our defense got a 3 and out. 2-minute warning, first half, 7-7.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
On this drive. Going to the half up would be better than going to the half tied.
Purdy looking to throw on first down.
Ooh.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
Johnny Wilson couldn't get the separation. Tried to give him a shot. That D-end was coming. I had to get away from him.
That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
How
and this one's
did Kamara just let himself get tackled or something? Like, go out and catch the ball. Come on.
Because so far, they're
must have got hung up or something. We're trying to set up the screen, and you just stand there.
Purdy with it on 3rd.
Do something.
Eluding the pressure right.
Oh, that's out of bounds.
Oh, that is incomplete. That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
Bounds. Chill down inside the 5. All right, good punt by Townsend. So if they want to score before half, they're going to have to drive all the way down the field to do it. Okay, so they didn't do it.
So they just
and we still have 32 seconds with 2 timeouts and we're already in field goal. Okay. I'm going to be a tad bit aggressive. We're going to get 7.
On first down.
We'll come across the field. Come on.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
Okay, timeout. That was stupid. I don't know why I drew like outside like that. He just decided not to turn the field for
24 seconds to go in this first half.
That was
now it's 2nd and 10.
Plus, it probably wasn't the best play call.
Purdy looking to throw.
Lolly almost had it.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free.
All right, well, we don't convert this. We're just going to kick the field goal.
Back to throw, Purdy.
Jonnu, come on. Wide open, Jonnu Smith, touchdown, Saints. Let's go. Beautiful. Nice throw by Purdy.
Trouble certainly
okay,
brewing
well,
for this defense.
It's the 3rd quarter. They're driving.
Now they'll need to defend a 1st and goal from the 5.
Tie this thing up.
They'll let the fullback try and take him.
Get done in by the fullback. Punch it in for 6.
Touchdown.
The Ravens once again. We didn't do anything.
Red zone situation brewing. This defense on their heels a little bit as they get set to defend a 1st and 10 with the ball at the 16.
Ooh, big hit. Let's go. Perfect. Lost
losing yardage back to the 16. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
3rd and 10 now. That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. 2nd and 10.
And he's able to get
Alright,
this
well, they did get 8 yards, but they didn't get the first.
50 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
They're going to let the quarter in. So tied up, going to the fourth quarter is 14.
As we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. Jackson looking to throw on third. Look in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Ravens are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Jackson. Touchdown.
And they're in, and they take the lead in the fourth quarter.
Rashad Bateman.
First. Third down and 4.
The key coming up here, preserve the lead for this defense. Fourth quarter, close game. Third down, here we go. Short throw to Smith.
But we're gonna go
this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Just keep it, I'm going to run it.
Here we go with Kamara.
Kamara, first down.
And he gets it to
No!
the 34. Good enough for the first.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Freaking Walker.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Purdy, big 4th down play. Escaping the pressure.
Run it.
Right.
Get the first. Purdy, nice job. Wow. Okay, I'm really surprised to see openings like that. That was beautiful. Okay.
A red zone alert as we get you back into the action. This offense coming up on a 2nd down and 3 to go. Purdy now to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. Shotgun now with Purdy. Flushed out right.
Get the first.
And he's out of bounds. Right. Almost gets to the 10.
I'm tucking and running, but guys can't get open on every play.
Get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Back to throw. Purdy.
Green.
And this will be incomplete.
Hold on to the ball, man. Hold on to it.
2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Purdy. Flush to his right.
Everybody's covered.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Purdy. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
1 yard gain on the play.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive
roll out.
Oh
my God, I don't know why I did that.
This one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete.
Stupid.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So 2nd and 9.
We're going to be running the ball.
Just about all
no question.
Probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just
good stop. Okay, all right. Timeout.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing now is Jackson.
Whoa, okay. He was open a little bit. We still have a chance. And we still have one timeout left. I can't believe they threw the ball. I can't believe they did that. Okay, whatever. They did it.
Taking a couple yards shy of midfield.
We're going to get a good return here. Nice job. Wow. Wow, okay, all right. So we still got a shot with one timeout left. Purdy has another chance.
Here's Purdy. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Here's Purdy to throw. Launches deep. A jump ball.
Wow.
This is caught.
Olave makes the catch. Unbelievable. And he was out of bounds. Stops the clock, saves time. Oh, and of course we do something like that. Okay, timeout. We gotta call timeout there.
What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Throwing, Purdy.
That almost ended the game.
That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up. Purdy to throw.
What is going on up front? I can't get any timing for anything.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't.
And he's brought down.
This offensive line is stinking up right now. And here I was thinking this offensive line was going to be better. And Brock Purdy doesn't have any time to do anything. I don't know why I gotta sit and watch this. This game is over with.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand.
Dennis Allen, you are fired. Dennis Allen, you are fired. We are done with you. We give you all of this talent. We give you a 91 overall quarterback. And you can only win 4 games. You're done. You're done as my head coach.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head.
We had another opportunity to drive down the field and tie this game.
Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
The offensive line was awful in this game. They couldn't block anybody. Couldn't block anybody. And Ramczyk was healthy. I don't know what was going on the right side, because the left side, even with our left tackle out of there, was still okay, but the rest of it wasn't. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, this is this. We're gonna have to make some moves here. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and keep our coaches. Well, not our coaches, but Allen's getting out of here. We're gonna fire Dennis Allen. All right, manage staff. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna fire Dennis Allen, get out of here. Although I'm gonna keep Anderson. Are there any head coaches that are actually out there that are pretty decent that got fired already? That are recognizable. Matt LaFleur got fired. West Coast zone run. That's actually kind of similar to to what we do. Well, Mike McDaniel got fired as well too. West Coast zone run. D'Amico Ryans got fired as well. And Matt LaFleur looks pretty promising. We're gonna hire Sean McVay as our new head coach. Hopefully this helps. Get a good offensive-minded coach in here. Work with Purdy. Get this quarterback situation taken care of. And hopefully just improve year by year. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to see. I decided to keep the coordinators mostly because of the fact that they, West Coast zone run, it's a little bit different. He goes 4-3. McVay doesn't normally do that, but I'm having him as our new coach. We got Sean McVay as our new head coach. Hopefully that helps. So let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff bracket going into year number 4. Steelers, Browns, Jets, Broncos, Jaguars, Raiders, and the Chiefs have the bye. Rams have number 1 seed. So Sean McVay isn't there anymore. They must have a new coach. Panthers, Eagles, Cowboys, Seahawks, Lions, Falcons. All right. So let's go ahead and advance through the week. Advance to the divisional round. So it's the Browns actually upsetting the Steelers, and the Jets beat the Broncos. The Raiders beat the Jaguars. So it's Chiefs, Browns, Jets, Raiders. And on the NFC, the Panthers beat the Eagles. The Seahawks beat the Cowboys on the road. And the Lions beat the Falcons. So it's Panthers, Lions, Rams, Seahawks in the divisional round of the playoffs. Go to Conference Championship Week and let's see what's going on there. So, championship is going to be between the Chiefs and the Raiders, so a classic rivalry renewed, and the Panthers and the Seahawks. That's what it's looking like in the NFC title game. So somebody else looks like was able to rebuild the Seahawks into a team that can at least get to the NFC Championship game. I unfortunately was not able to do that. So let's see who's advancing to the Super Bowl. And it looks like that it's going to be the Raiders and the Panthers. Wow, that was unexpected. The Panthers beat the Seahawks at home, but the Raiders go to Arrowhead and upset the Chiefs. So it's Raiders-Panthers in the Super Bowl. Wow, I did not expect that to happen. That's a pretty crazy looking Super Bowl. So let's take a look at the Pro Bowl roster and let's see if any of our Saints even made it. Arch Manning made the Pro Bowl. I don't know who drafted him, but he made it as his rookie year. Ramschak made it. Ryan Ramschak was the only Saint to make the Pro Bowl this year. Our offense must have taken a back seat. So I want to see what stats were looking like this season. So look, we have another 4,800-yard passer. We have 28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions from Mr. Purdy. Rushing wise, Kamara once again had an 1,100-yard season with 15 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Olave had a 1,000-yard season, 8 TDs. We had 4 from Johnny Wilson. He almost had 1,000 yards. We had 4 from Jonnu, and we had 4 from Green. So he actually had a breakout year. And A.T. Perry had 3 touchdowns as well. So spreading the ball around, we were pretty good there. So I want to see what's going on statistically wise on offense. So offense, where were we kind of ranked this year? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12th best offense in the league. So that is a slip up from last year, even with Brock Purdy. I'm just hoping that us getting Sean McVay as our new coach will launch our offense back to where it's respectable and, get it to be better. So let's see about our defense. We had the second worst defense in the league. God, we make all those changes. We bring in Donovan Wilson. We draft Max Murray as a rookie, 77 overall. We sign Cole Holcomb. And we finish with the worst defense in the league. And we also still have Marshawn Lattimore. I'm thinking that we're just not getting to the quarterback. We got to get this defensive line to improve and this linebacking core big time. The secondary, I feel like, is pretty good. But this defensive line just needs to be upgraded. And I gotta really invest this offseason into upgrading that defensive line big time. I think that's what the approach is we have to take for that. Because by year 5, going to year 5, we have to at least make the playoffs in year 5. I'm not going to say I'm going to finish the rebuild after 5 years, but, I mean, I really want this team to be in the playoffs next season. Just get us to the playoffs and give us a chance, and maybe we can do something. All right. So let's view yearly awards, and let's see if any of our Saints were even in contention for anything. So the MVP is Mahomes. Gary Crawford once again wins Coach of the Year. I think that's back-to-back titles for him in that category. Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC, Jalen Hurts. Alvin Kamara actually finished 9th. Oh, okay, so Arch Manning went to the Seahawks, and he must have turned them around. Defensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons, NFC, no Saints. Offensive Rookie of the Year, nobody. Defensive Rookie of the Year, no one. Best QB, Brock Purdy actually finished 10th. Best running back, Kamara finished 4th. That's probably the highest rated we're going to see any of our players. Best offensive lineman, no love for Ramchak. Best defensive lineman, no love for anybody. We really haven't seen any good defensive linemen be on this list for the first 4 years of the rebuild. So that's a bit concerning. But the same could be said for the linebacking core, even DBs. But also we have Marshawn Lattimore get hurt. Fairbairn actually finished 4th, so he was tied with Kamara for 4th best for the NFC at a position. All right, so a little bit of something. So let's see who wins the Super Bowl between the Raiders and the Panthers. Once again, a team from our division is in the Super Bowl. I think we saw the Falcons do it a few years in this rebuild, so maybe we'll see if the Panthers win it. Give us another measuring stick. Looks like the Panthers have won their first Super Bowl. First Super Bowl for the Panthers. They finally break through and win it. They beat the Raiders. MVP was J.C. Horn. MVP was Mahomes. Gary Crawford, Lamar Jackson actually won Offensive Player of the Year from the Ravens. I mean, Lord knows he played pretty well against us. Max Crosby won Defensive Player of the Year for the Raiders. Malachi Nelson won Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Browns. And Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Terrell Stevenson, cornerback from the Eagles. All right. Well, that is it for year number 4. So going into the offseason, we got a new head coach in Sean McVay. I'm keeping the assistant coaches we have, but if we have another year like we did, then it's going to be time to change the coaching staff entirely at the coordinator positions and just go forward from there. So let's go ahead and simulate to next week. I think I'm just going to let everybody walk. I'm going to take one more look at the guys we have set to hit free agency, and I'm going to see if there's anybody if I want to keep. And also, I need to look at retirements. I want to see if we have anybody who's going to retire. Who knows? Maybe this is it for the Honey Badger. And it looks like it is. Let me actually take a look and see who else decided to call it a career for us. So Shaq Barrett did retire, and so did Matthew. Well, guys, I was hoping for a better way to end y'all's careers, but thank you for everything. So Shaq, we got to get a new right outside linebacker, but we just got to revamp this linebacking core. And we also got to get a new free safety. So we've got positions that we need to fill for sure this offseason. I wasn't really going to bring back Matthew, even if he was going to not retire. He was going to come back, but now we have to reconsider some things. Okay, so because of that, I want to maybe see if we should consider maybe some linebackers or anybody we have set to hit free agency who we may still need because those guys retired. And there really isn't anybody. I think I'm just willing to let all of these guys walk. But you know what? You know what? I think we can do a better defensive tackle than Breesy. If I want to keep him back, maybe I'll just get him in regular free agency just to help out a little bit. But I don't know. We need to get a massive upgrade on this defensive line. I feel like we really do. All right, so let's go ahead and advance to next week. And let's get ready for free agency and see how much money we really have to work with this offseason. This may be the first offseason where we're just going to have to do some trades to really upgrade positions that we really need to improve. All right, so let's take a look at our roster, and I want to see what positions we really need to do. I think it's really going to help if we get another really, really good receiver to go alongside Olave. Running backs, I'm not... If there's a high 80 running back, I'll go for him. But if not, I'll stay with Kamara once again. And with all these guys, yeah, I just feel like I get another receiver to help out with. And we definitely need to get a really decent tight end because we don't have that. Offensive line, that last game we played was not great, but I'm not too concerned about it right now. Defensive line, we just need to get up. We just need to get better here. We definitely got to get better at defensive tackle. And I think, and Holcomb even regressed, so that doesn't make me feel pretty good about him. We've got quite a few upgrades to do. We'll get a new kicker. Townsend will be here for one more season, so we don't have to worry about him hitting free agency until the next offseason. Fortunately, we're not in the red for anything in terms of the owner. We still have plenty of time to try to rebuild this team. We're not in the negative, operating in the negative or anything like that. So that makes me feel a bit better. And look who is available. We're going all in. I'm getting Jalen Carter because we need help at defensive tackle. Like bad. That's one of the positions of need that we have to fill and really, really need help with. Unfortunately, this doesn't put us anywhere near where we can get him. So let's see about player-friendly. Where does the player-friendly option put us? Also, how much money do we have to spend? I didn't even look. $47 million. Dang. Jeez. Okay, you know what? I hate to do this. We just can't go all in like that. We have $68 million. We can't spend it all on one player. We just can't do that. Spears is an 85. Maybe Jonathan Allen we could get for, a cheaper deal, maybe. I don't know where this is even going to put us. Nowhere. What about the player-friendly deal for Allen? We're not anywhere in that. Yeah. We're going to just retract that offer. Just can't do it. Can't afford it. There's a few good running backs that are available, but Marvin Mims Jr. We need help at receiver, so I'm going to actually bring him in. He's the top receiver on the market, and we actually are first in line for his services. Mecole Hardman is also available, but Mims has got more talent. Actually, you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and get this off of Mims. Let's actually go after Hardman because he's a scheme fit guy. I think that also helps. We just got to fit guys that fit the scheme, especially with Sean McVay. We got a new head coach in here, so we got to do that. And because of that, let me actually see if I can lower this deal and get him to come here for only a 2-year deal. Make it more of a friendly deal for us, so that way we're not spending a whole crap load of money. All right, tight ends. Are there any decent? Of course there isn't. Well, Daniel Bellinger actually would be an improvement. So you know what? I'm going to go after him. I'm going to keep the neutral deal for him because that's probably what it's going to take to rope him in. $58 million. You know what? We're his only offer. We're going to lower it again. Team friendly for 2 years. Cade Otton actually is the best option, but Bellinger is actually interested in coming here, so I'm just going to do that. You know what? I'm going to withdraw the offer. We're going after Otton. 79 overall tight end. He's better. We're going after him. And you know what? We're actually his only offer. So we'll go to the neutral deal if some team offers him more than us. And we don't want to risk losing him. Okay, defensive line. We need to get better at defensive end. We need help. And the best guy is Kenny Clark. What about defensive tackle? Well, I already know what the defensive tackles were looking like with Jalen Carter. Defensive ends actually aren't looking really a whole lot better. What about linebackers? I haven't looked here yet. Victor Dimajuk. I don't even know who you are. You know, Holcomb's starting to regress. So I think it's a good idea to bring a guy like maybe Trenton Simpson in here. More help at linebacker. Alright, well, we can actually get away since being his only offer. We're going to lower that a little bit for 2 years. Save a little bit of money where we can. All right. Well, Shaq Barrett's retirement. We've got to do something here. Uchenna Nwosu. Matt Milano is better though. All right, Nwosu I think is a good option. Just for like 1 year, can you come here and be a stopgap type of guy? Bridge player. All right. Corners, nobody looking really solid here. Okay, now free safety we can't. Oh. We're going to get the Cowboys secondary basically back together. We're going after Malik Hooker. We're going after Hooker. And the Cowboys have a better offer than us. Yeah, we're going to war. We want him more than you guys. We want him more than you, Jerry. We need help. All right. We have a better offer than them. Okay, well, this is the first period where we have to go after some of the bigger names. I still would have loved to go after Jalen Carter, but we're just going to have to offer him everything. We basically wouldn't have any money to do anything else this offseason. So we're going after Mecole Hardman to get some help at receiver. We're going after Malik Hooker to replace Tyrann Mathieu. Basically get him with Donovan Wilson, get the Cowboys secondary back together. We're also going after Trenton Simpson, middle linebacker. We're going after Cade Otton to be our new starting tight end, and we're going after Uchenna Nwosu to be our new right outside linebacker. So that's our negotiations for the first round of free agency. I really thought about, going harder and, really trying to do that. But you know what? Trades can exist as well. So maybe for getting a really good defensive end, instead of the draft, we're going to do that through trades. We could possibly do something like that. That just may be the best option that we have. All right, so let me see if we signed anybody. I didn't mean to go to scout college players. I meant to go to sign free agents to see if we signed anybody. All right, so did we sign anybody? All right. So we got Hardman, we got Hooker, we did get Simpson, and we did get Nwosu. Only person who's still considering our offer is Cade Otton. Fortunately for us, no other team is offering him anything right now, so that still puts us in contention for that. Carter went to the Colts, and Jonathan Allen went to the Steelers. So the top two guys who are defensive tackles who we did need to upgrade are going somewhere else. All right, well, at this point, I'm going to take a look at the rest of our roster and see where we can maybe make some other moves for depth. Because offensive line-wise, I think we're looking pretty solid. So let's take a look at what, the Hardman signing does. Yeah, So Hardman is an 84 receiver. That definitely helps out with our receiving core, getting another good receiver in here to help out. Tight end, if we get Otten, we'll be good. Offensive line, we should be in good shape for this year. I like that. Defensive end, yeah. Defensive tackle as well. Linebackers weren't really looking too good. I mean, Nwosu was decent to help out. We also, of course, have Simpson. So I think maybe going and getting another right outside linebacker might be a good idea. Of course, we got Malik Hooker now and free safety. Let's see if we maybe give him a number of the 28, but I don't know if we can. So we got the Cowboys secondary back together. We got Malik Hooker and we got Donovan Wilson, who actually has regressed to a 78. That doesn't make me feel too good. Okay, so here's, normally when I do big trades, it's for a skill position on offense, but I'm going to see if I can make a trade for a really good defensive lineman. So let's go to the trade center for the first time in this rebuild. I haven't done any trades so far during this rebuild, but I'm doing it now. Okay, so I want to take a look and see. First of all, our biggest need is defensive tackle according to that list, which is very true. So I want to see if I can get a decent defensive tackle. Make a trade for somebody who's pretty solid. So you know what? I'm going to see if I can go after Vita Vea. He fits our scheme. I know he's getting up there in age, but I think I want to go and get somebody here who's going to really help us. We're going to steal somebody from within our division. And you know what? Should I do it? Get rid of... I'm not going to do that just yet. What do the Bucs really need? Okay, they need defensive end help, but we also need defensive help. We got some extra corners. Maybe they'll take Benjamin. I don't think this is going to really do much to tip the needle for him. Trade declined. Okay, so maybe we can add a pick. What about a third rounder? Third round pick, and Benjamin is all it took to get Vita Vea. So now we have instantly upgraded our defensive tackle spot. Took a guy from the division, from the Bucs. Made a trade, got some defensive tackle help. That definitely is going to help us out tremendously. It did cost us one of our decent corners, but Vita Vea, look at that, 91 defensive tackle. That's going to help us out so much. Even if that's all we get for this year, in the offseason in terms of big trades, I'm okay with that. All right. So now, I'm still not done with trades. We did have to give up a third-round pick to go get Vita, as well as Benjamin. So now I want to see if we can get a defensive end. So now I want to see... Granderson is still 81, but we need a good left defensive end. Sweat's there. What about if we get Marvin Jones Jr. to help out? Yeah. What do the Bears need? They need a receiver. They take Johnny Wilson straight up? No. Okay. That's going to cost us a pick. And you know what? Johnny Wilson has still been pretty solid, so I kind of, I'm just not the biggest fan of doing that. Left tackle. You know what? I'm going to stick to my guns a little bit here. I'm going to give them Johnny Wilson, and we're going to give them also a pick. I don't know if a fourth rounder is going to do it, but let's see. Still declined. Okay, All right, let's try somebody else. Let's try somebody else. Okay. Chop Robinson. This won't fit our scheme. Marvin Jones Jr. is still looking like their best option. Are we really going to have to give a second-round pick straight up for him? Still declined. All right, well, let's see if we can add... Well, let's add Johnny Wilson then. Sorry, Johnny. All right, well, it cost us our third best receiver and a second-round pick, but we've got an upgrade on the defensive end spot, and the guy that fits our scheme as well. Marvin Jones Jr. Is a real player. He was taken by the Bears a couple of years ago in this rebuild, in this series. So look at that, 85 overall, big-time upgrade over Darius Smith. Definitely helps us out. And with that, I think I'm just going to let this ride out the way that it is. You know, I'm just going to kind of let it be, and it's just the direction that we're going to go. Let's see, can Vita Vea be 90? Let's see, what is Vita Vea's number? Vita Vea? Oh, he's actually number 50. Okay. What other number did Vita Vea have? Like, did he play with the Browns for a little bit? No, it's just with the Bucks, I think. Okay, well, we can still change that because we got Earl Landry wearing number 50, so we can change his number. And we'll give Vita Vea his 50. Well, getting Vita Vea is a defensive tackle, and we also made a trade for Marvin Jones. I think we've definitely upgraded our defense now, like in a serious way. Hopefully this helps. I'm really hoping this helps, guys. I mean, we're making trades for guys that aren't even like offensive skill position players just to help out this team, and it's costing us draft picks. But you know, and I know that building through the draft is the best way to go, but I just feel like we have to try something else. What did Marvin Jones Jr. wear in college? Marvin Jones Jr. Marvin Jones Jr. Defensive end. I'm just going to look that up. All right, so he wore number 8 or 7. Let's see. Do we have number 7 maybe available? All right, I'm actually going to change up some numbers as well. Since we got rid of Benjamin, I'm going to give what did Dante Jackson? 26. And we're going to give Hooker 28 again. All right. I think we actually should be good to give him number 7 because we had Fairbairn walk. Marvin Jones Jr. wearing his old college number at Georgia, number 7. All right. 85, 81, and 91. And you know what? Let's go out and get a linebacker. A left outside linebacker. Let's get a real one. A good one. Okay. So, let me see. Yeah, Johnny's there. Let's see about left outside linebackers. Jonathan, I really want a guy in the 80s, though. Nobody really too solid at left outside linebacker. All right, well, left outside linebacker's not looking too solid, so you know what? I'm not going to trade for one. We're just going to maybe try to address it in the draft if we can. Hopefully the battery on my controller is still okay. I'm just worried it's going to run out soon. Okay, so let's get back to the free agency pool, and I want to see who we still need to take care of, because we need a kicker, and we need to take care of that. Okay, so we're still looking at hopefully Cade Otton signing, and let's go ahead and get a new kicker. You know what? Fairbairn is still the best available, but I'm going a little bit less. I'm gonna go with Tyler Bass, even though he's 79 overall. Just gonna go with him, and we're gonna go ahead and go with the team-friendly deal, save some money, hopefully land him so we can save up a little bit. We only have $27 million in cap to spend, so we don't have a whole lot. And you know, I'm gonna actually get maybe a backup right end. Let's go with Derek Barnett. He's dipped a little bit, but he still looks pretty solid. We're going to go with a team-friendly deal, try to save some money if we can. 23. Yeah, not bad. All right, and I think that's all we're going to do. So we're still targeting Tyler Bass. Well, it's still targeting Cade Otton, but we got Barnett and we've got Bass as well. And I think this is it for free agency for us. This is all we're going to do. Hopefully we land these guys. let's see. Who did we get? Did we get everybody that we needed? We did get Kate Otten. Nwosu already got, and we did get Derek Barnett. So there we go. Now, Tyler Bass is still considering our offer, but since nobody else is offering him anything, I'm pretty sure he'll sign, and we'll get our new kicker. All right, well, let's go ahead and get through free agency, and let's get ready for the draft. Take a look at Mock Draft 5 and see what they have us projected to do now that we've made some trades and we've been decently active in free agency. So we'll see what they have us projected to do. Workouts, delegate decisions. Mock Draft 5. So right now we actually have the 3rd overall pick. Wow. And we are projected to take Colin Simmons out of Texas. That, I think, would be a good idea. We need help at linebacker tremendously. But these defensive ends are looking pretty solid too. Williams, Narawi, and Dylan Stewart. But if they're going to go off the board, then I think that's the best thing to do. Then again, we could always, but then again, I'm okay with Brock Purdy at 91 overall. I think Colin Simmons out of Texas, linebacker, right outside linebacker. We can always move to the left side. I think it's the best way to go. Because really with Nwosu, I don't think he's going to be a franchise type of right outside linebacker. So we actually have trade offers for Caleb Williams. I'm willing to listen. So, Ritter, we can get some picks back with some of these trades. The 49ers are willing to give us Deebo Samuel. Jeez. Kyler Murray. Well, the Rams actually have Ritter. Get some defensive tackle help if we were to do that trade. We get Deebo. But we did sign Nicole. This could help us get some picks back if we did the Rams deal. And we'd also get another quarterback. I'm torn between the 49ers and the Rams, to be honest with y'all. But you know what? You know what? Picks, it doesn't really matter. We're going with the 49ers deal. We're bringing in Deebo Samuel. We get Deebo Samuel in this deal, and we already signed Mecole Hardman. We got a dominant receiving core now. Like, I'm going to show you guys what this just did for our offensive roster. All right, so we hire Sean McVay as our new coach. He's an offensive-minded guy. We already have Brock Purdy as our new quarterback in place. We traded away Caleb Williams to bring in Deebo Samuel and some defensive tackles who I don't really know too much about. We got Deebo Samuel, and he fits our scheme. He's an 88 overall. We got an 84 Hardman. This is a trio of receivers that this is a top 5 offense, the top 10 at the least, in terms of just, you know, the abilities. Seriously. And because Deebo Samuel's coming in here, where's Smith? Darius Smith. You know what, Darius, we're going to change your number to, like, something in the 90s. Because we're going to give Deebo his number 19 back. He deserves it. What did Deebo wear in college, actually? Deebo Samuel. Did he wear any... What did he wear in college? He was at South Carolina. South Carolina. What did he wear at South Carolina? Oh, he actually wore number 1. Okay, so you know what? Let's see if maybe I can change his number to number 1. If that number's available... Let me actually double check and see if we got Bass, our kicker. Okay, so we did. Okay. All right. Let's change. Is number 1 available? And we got Debo. We got Debo now. Wow. All right, well, he wore number 1 at South Carolina. Let's see if we can give him number 1. Yeah, let's give it number 1. South Carolina Gamecock College number. Let's go. All right, Debo's number 1. We got Curtis, we got Chris, we got Debo, we got Hardman. This is a top flight receiving core here. Tight end, might leave desire, but even so, an 80 overall tight end. Reconnect the controller to continue. All right, guys. Well, don't worry. Still doing this. I'm just going to have to come a little bit closer to the TV and in front of the camera like this. Hopefully you guys are okay with this. All right. The controller to continue. Okay. All right. We're charging, so we're good. All right. Trying to see if you guys can even see me. Well, you can't. Let's see. Let's just mess some video up. Okay, well, this will have to do. I got to stand up and do this for the rest of the live stream because the controller died. Okay, all right. So as I was saying, Kate Otten, big time upgraded tight end. Will Campbell, Blythe. Still got this guy Kevin Palmer. I feel like this roster is now finally starting to come together. And we did sign Derek Barnett to help out there. We got Vita Vea, Saunders, and we got a bunch of these like random defensive tackles as a result of the trade with the 49ers to get Deebo Samuel in here. I feel like that we could probably... maybe I'll just have to risk keeping Max Murphy over there. And, we could have used help at corner because we did trade away Benjamin. Corner, we still could use some help there. And we could use some backup help at safety. So, yeah. Okay, then. Well, onward and upward. And also, we're going to need a backup quarterback because we just traded Caleb Williams to the 49ers. So yeah. We basically kind of swapped quarterbacks if you look at it. Trade accepted with the 49ers. Okay, cool. All right. But I think the mock draft has projected to go. First of all, we have the 3rd overall pick, so that's pretty big. I think going with that right outside linebacker out of Texas, I think it's the good idea to go with. I think it's best to go with him. All right. Start at the draft. Draft 2027.
On the clock now, it's the Los Angeles Chargers.
All right. So let me see if that right outside linebacker is in fact available. So Colin Simmons is the guy, and he is there. We could use help at corner, but you know what? We need help at linebacker more. Let's go with Simmons, just like the mock draft projected us to do. We're going to stick with the mock. We're going to go with Simmons. And he actually has a hidden development trade. So that makes me feel pretty good about taking him 3rd overall in the draft. So we're going to go with Simmons. I don't know if he's a real player or not, but I'm going to check later. Now, we don't have a pick until the 4th round because of all the trades we did this offseason. So we're going to have a little bit, less here. And you know what? I'm actually going to go with their linebacker, Chris Cole out of Ohio State, because we need help. We still need help at linebacker. Middle linebacker might not. We can always kick one of those guys over to the left or the right side, depending on the personnel that we have. Another position we need help with is safety. We need a backup strong safety to back up Donovan Wilson. So I'm going to see if there's any safeties that are even any decent here. Strong safeties. These are all day 3 projected selections. So Coy Parrish out of Minnesota. We're actually going to go with him. Get some depth behind Donovan Wilson. He's a pretty mean-looking guy.
Now on the clock.
Doubt he's a real player, though. We'll look him up. 6th round pick. Yeah, we're pretty good at like receiver and everything. A bunch of these receivers have dropped. So you know what? Let's we're actually going to go with another linebacker. We're going to go with Jalen Harvey out of Penn State. Get some more linebacker help here.
The New Orleans Saints are now on the clock.
All right. This is our last pick of the draft. And I think this may be a good idea to go this time with quarterback. Backup quarterback, at least. Isaiah Marshall out of Rutgers is the best guy. So you know what? We're going to go with him to get a backup QB. Isaiah Marshall out of Rutgers. All right. Actually, upgrade players already. Interesting. Okay. So draft recap 2027. Let's take a look. Give you guys a recap. We didn't have a whole lot of picks this year because of trades that we made, so it's a little bit short. Colin Simmons, first round, 3rd overall, right outside linebacker out of Texas. We got Chris Cole, middle linebacker from Ohio State, because I still feel like that, we're just going to take advantage of the draft and upgrade every position of need that we still have, despite the trades that we made. I took Coy Parrish, strong safety out of Minnesota, because we need a backup strong safety. I took Jalen Harvey, left outside linebacker to Penn State. We took 3 linebackers in the draft, and Isaiah Marshall was our 7th round pick, quarterback out of Rutgers, because, hey, trade away Caleb Williams, we need a backup quarterback. I'll still probably sign a veteran guy, another veteran guy in a free agency, but for right now, I'm going to go with that. Before the preseason begins. So let's go ahead and adjust the roster and make sure it's looking good. Make sure everything's kind of looking the way that I want it to look. Isaiah Marshall, I know, is probably not a real player, so he's going to probably rock number 16. Manny Burke, guy we didn't draft, probably a practice squad guy. It's our 3rd string running back. We got Deebo Samuel, Hardman, we got Truman, Andre Green, still here. That's a top receiving core, top notch. Isaiah Rex, another tight end we have. I think Middleton's going into his 2nd year. Our offensive line, I still like. I mean, I like the way that it looks. I mean, I'm just hoping it's not, famous last words. Defensive end spots improved with the trade from Marvin Jones Jr. Defensive ends, Granderson still an 81. That's looking pretty decent. Saunders, Murray, Raymond, and McAllister, defensive tackles. Got a lot of defensive tackles. Left outside linebackers. Harvey's the guy that we took. So Simmons actually is rated lower than Nwosu. But hopefully he can develop into a pretty decent player. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm just going to keep him wearing number 31, mostly because of the uncertainty of that I don't really know much about these guys, because they're more than likely not real players. Parrish, Bass. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and advance to the next season after all of this, and I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of free agent signings on camera. See if there's any veterans that we can bring in to help out at some of the positions, maybe for depth, and then I'm going to wrap up the stream for today. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and go to free agency, see if there's a veteran quarterback we can bring in to be a backup for Purdy. Okay, quarterback. Geno Smith, why not? Bring him on. 69 overall, but hey, he's coming in here to be a backup quarterback. And he knows it. Okay. What's Eckler's doing? Gallup's available. You know what? We could always use extra receiving help. Let's bring in Gallup. I need some. We could probably use some extra corner help. Let's bring in D. Alford. And I think that's good. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the roster now, going into the preseason and training camp and all that, and just make sure everything's kind of looking good the way that I want it before I start up next season. Give Parrish a different number. So we give Geno Smith number 3 because he wore that with the Giants while he was there for a few years. Let's see what Gallup's looking like. So he's our 4th best receiver. And we're going to keep him probably rocking number 11. Got a big-time veteran core of receivers now. Got a little bit older, but I think it was worth it. I mean, I'm looking at a roster, guys, that is better. I mean, we made some trades this season. We rolled the dice, and we've got some talent now on this defense, I really feel like. I'm hoping that that's going to hold true. I just worry about left outside linebacker still with Murphy at a 78. Jennings is a 71. Hopper's getting up a little bit, but still, he's going to be stuck in the 60s. He won't be worth a contract after the season because I think that's the end of his contract. Simpson, Holcomb has slipped, so we still have Earl Landry, and of course we drafted Chris Cole. But, you know, getting Simpson in here I think is going to be massive help for us. And, of course, we have Nwosu and Colin Simmons, who we drafted. Dante Jackson. Cornerback room is not super deep, but we're brought in D. Alford to help out with that. Hopefully that helps out at least a little bit. We got Hooker, and of course we got Donovan Wilson, of course we got Bass and kicker, who's not really highly rated, but I don't think kickers really matter too much in the grand scheme of things. So that's what we're going with for the 5th season of the rebuild. This roster looks a lot different. It really does, outside of maybe Alvin Kamara and Marshawn Lattimore. But that is going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next week for episode number 5 of the rebuild. Have a good day.